Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We are entering the sweet spot of my childhood. We are looking at the Uncanny X-Men 211, the beginning of the Mutant Massacre. This is also John Romita Jr.'s last issue in this current run. John Romita Jr. will return for Uncanny X-Men 300, but um, we are going to be entering the Mark Silvestri era soon, about 10 issues away from Mark Silvestri. He'll do 220 and then he will disappear and then he'll eventually then come back a couple issues later. Great cover by Wolverine, part of that Marvel 25th anniversary template. One of my most favorite covers. God, it is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Bob Wyacek is the inker of this cover. Bob Wyacek also did that Hulk Wolverine issue that Todd McFarlane that he did that cover. So um golly, what a beautiful cover here. All right. Here we go. So the title is Massacre, and we've got Scalp Hunter here introducing himself and the Marauders. So, we kill mutants. Who's next? And so I don't know them all by heart. Vertigo, Harpoon, Arclight, and their names will get introduced. I forgot his name. It's not Torpedo, I don't think, but his. So um we've got Chris Claremont as our writer, John Romita Jr. with Brett Blevins, both doing pencils, and then Al Williamson is the inker. Al Williamson also will go with John Romita Jr. to Daredevil, where they will have a heck of a run. John Romita Jr. will be working with Ann Nocenti over in Daredevil. Um, Great cover here. Chris Claremont is not putting in a lot of words, letting this kind of be the focus here. The Marauders sort of appeared in the previous issue, but we really couldn't see them. So, all right, and so we've got some of the Morlocks here, and this guy's like, "What you talking, man? This some kind of ha hey?" And you can see Scalp Hunter says, "No, I'm a serious man, engaged in serious business, and I never joke." As he's assembling this weapon with people who are about to die, and you see this here, and it explodes here. So, Riptide. Okay. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of skills and grace, Riptide by name. And so his face stays still, but his body sort of goes around, and he throws these like ninja stars and things and starts hitting people. And this guy goes, "Toys can't hurt me. I grab you, I break you. You got powers like us. Maybe you mutants. Why you do this?" And Scrambler is this guy here, and he must be like oh my gosh, Leech, who has the same power. So he's able to when he touches you, he takes the powers away. Here it says disrupts the Morlock's powers. I've always found it funny that Chris Claremont just kept coming up with so many different powers. And so he takes away this guy's invulnerability here, and so he gets hit. And then Scalp Hunter, just great panel here, boom. And so one person gets away, a person named Acid who creates acid through the pores, kind of like an alien, but instead of blood, just like sweats acid here. And so calls out, Callisto, help! Everyone, come quickly! Murder! Strangers in the tunnels! Hurry, please! They'll kill us all. And Riptide says, they know we're here, Scalp Hunter. And Scalp Hunter says, good, that means we don't have to hunt them down. Arclight, you handle the wall. And so she uh, punches it, and she's got super strength here. And nice, just bam, or sorry, wham here. And so Harpoon gets ready here, and she goes, she shall not escape here, and tosses that harpoon with energy, and just like that. And so here's Callisto with other Morlocks, and she goes, Cybele, don't know who you chumps are, don't care either, but you're gonna die for this. And Scalp Hunter says, do tell, you're Callisto, huh? Head honcho of this tribe of losers. Babe, you're mine. As for the rest, Vertigo, twist them inside out. And so she makes everybody be dizzy, and then Arclight bangs on the ground. You can see knocking everybody out. And we see here this guy named Piper. He's far away, so he's gonna play a tune here, so he can't be affected by Vertigo, and he's gonna call on his creatures here. And so now it says here about an hour north, and we've got Mirage of the New Mutants washing her horse, Brightwind. We got Wolverine here, Colossus. We got Rogue. They're at the barn here. And here comes Wolverine. And Brett Blevins makes him look really oldish here. I really like this Brett Blevins, John Romita Jr. Combo here. And so he goes, need a hand, Colossus? And Colossus says, thank you, Wolverine, but Rogue and I are doing fine by ourselves. And Rogue says, besides, Sugar, you're supposed to be taking life easy. You've taken some pretty heavy hits lately. Even your body needs a decent chance to heal. And he says, I'm fine, girl. And Rogue says, you ain't tough, guy, and you're too honest to deny it. And he pops his claws and rips that out. And Chris Claremont tells us everything we need to know there. So, and she goes, as Wolverine goes away, and she goes, inactivity's driving him buggy. And Colossus says, he has recovered from worse injuries far faster than this, Rogue. I fear something with him is very wrong. And so Kitty Pryde now is raiding the fridge here. And Magneto, I say Magneto, not Magneto, grabs the soda here from her. He says, this young lady is certainly to ruin your appetite for dinner. And she sighs here. And she says, that assumes I'll have time for supper, which I won't. And so you see Magneto here. Mr. Headmaster Magneto, oh great and powerful master of magnetism, sir, because I've got term papers due. And says, Professor Xavier is a school. If I don't produce any work, I flunk. My folks wouldn't like it. And he says, nor would I. And I'm running on empty. And so Magneto says, then by all means refuel. Just don't make a habit of such behavior. And so she floats up here and she goes, can't write a thesis on ethical philosophy and save the world simultaneously, sir, but it'll be fun to try. So she phases through, and Ileana's her roommate, and she goes, food break. And Ileana says, about time, I'm starved. And so Wolverine's walking, and it looks like there's a gazebo here, and Nightcrawler teleports and surprises Wolverine. Of course, Nightcrawler is also weak here. And Wolverine catches him. He says, what are you trying to prove? And Nightcrawler, very weak, says, thought I was well enough to teleport. And Wolverine says, you thought wrong, bub. And he says, my error. We're some pair, huh? So bashed and battered, we're pretty much useless. And Wolverine agrees and says, "Yup. What say then we drown our mutual sorrows in the time honored tradition manner?" And Wolverine says, "Who's buying?" And suddenly, uh, from underneath, he goes, "I'm way," or he thinks here, "I'm way off my mark. I should have heard it coming." And this is one of the Morlocks here. He says, "Aid us. X-Men beg, implore, do I for salvations. Strangers in the alley, they kill. Morlocks die." And the Morlock dies. And so here in the infirmary, we have oh, what is that nurse, Sharon? And she goes, multiple blade and gunshot wounds, massive internal trauma, pulverized bone. It's a miracle he reached us. And so we've got Psylocke here. Um, I covered the New Mutants as well, and X Factor. I do have a playlist on each and a playlist of everyone together. I covered her first American appearance in New Mutants Annual number 2, which preceded this. So check that out if you would like. And so Claremont introduces us. She's going to be taking the telepath now that Rachel Summers, aka the Phoenix, is gone. And she says, "In his dying memory, I saw a, I never can know this word, a cadre, means a group of super being, massacring every living thing in the Morlock tunnels." And Magneto says, "No, the horrors of my childhood born again, only this time mutants are the victims." And Wolverine says, "Are we involved, Storm?" And Storm says, "I lead the Morlocks as well as the X-Men, Logan. Of course, we must go to the rescue. But Magneto, it would be best if you remain behind. As headmaster, your primary responsibility is to the school and the New Mutants. If something happens to us, if an attack comes here, they will need you." And he understands, even though he wants to join them. And so they have Eliana teleport the X-Men here. And Wolverine says, "I got Morlock sense close by. Better brace yourselves." And suddenly, they're all on the ground here. Wolverine says, "This won't be pretty." And Storm finds Callista and she says she's wounded, but she lives.